Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is Happy to Hump Day. It's Wednesday, not Cheesesteak Tuesday, but Happy to Hump Day. It's Wednesday. So, what do we see today? We have the Fed speaking in, let's see, it's almost 8:30, so that'd be 4 hours, 6 hours from now. The Fed will be out totally speaking at that point. The whole financial system is staring at that. They're hoping to see just 0.75 in the increase of interest rates, and obviously then they're thinking like 0.50. He'll kind of, when he speaks, they're thinking that he'll say something about, well, next time we're going to probably look at a half a percentage point, but we'll start taking a look at the numbers, see how well what we've done. He'll do all those type of things. The interest rates themselves on the bonds themselves are kind of right there already. I mean, we're at 2 3/4, and the 10-year and the 30-year and even the 2-year are trading over 4%. So, as we take a sip of our tea, so we're really seeing the interest rates already. They're already played into the structure of it all. We're already seeing that. And so when we you look up on J4X here this morning on the chart, you see it right there. Oh, let me log in to make sure no one's saying, "Hey Doc, what about this?" There we go. We're logged in, and I don't see anybody yet. I'm sure Metho will pop in a little bit, and Robin and so forth. And I think Giannis is got something to do outside of town. Keep your head down there, Giannis. Keep the head down. You can see right there, it's moving up nicely. Let's do this like that. The last 4 days, you can see the dollar's been gaining some push on the upside. You can see the green line there. This is the dollar index, the DXY. Over here, we keep a look on the Chicago the CME index. Made up a little bit different. We like this one. We find it interesting, so we follow that. It's in a weekly sell for one whole week after, as you can see, we were in a weekly buy as we scrunch it up, we were in a weekly buy from back there in August. So it was like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, went 10 full weeks on a weekly buy, and you can see obviously it found its way to go up more than down. And at the same time, now we've jumped back into a daily buy. Yesterday we jumped into a daily buy in this product, and you can see we have a lot more work to do when it comes to the weekly, but we think that the interest rates are kind of towards the top end of their range. We're thinking, we see 4 1/4 kind, we see 4 and 1/8. I don't think we're going to see 4 1/2, but that would be 1 1/4 more with a half a point the next time and 3/4 of a point this time would put us up into at 2 3/4, 1 1/4 would put us to 4 even. So we kind of think we're seeing the tail end of the interest rates, and at the same time, the stock market has been telling us that they see a change in government. So a year from now, more than likely, we'll be at least 14% more higher, that type of thing. Usually that's how that plays out. And you can see here, that's the dollar index again. As I'm saying, it's just kind of been. It's not exactly exploding. We went into the sell here, and then we just did all this sideways stuff, and then went down, went into a sell and went down, and then we've kind of locked into the sideways stuff now. That's what it seems like, and we've got into the buy here, but not a lot of energy to it, because again, I think they're fine. Hey, Robin. Yo. It's not Cheesesteak Tuesday, it is Happy to Hump Day Wednesday. So I'm just thinking, since the official interest rate now is around 2 3/4, and the Fed is going to probably push it over the next 2 Fed meetings up to about 4%, that'll pretty much put us where the whole story begins, I guess you could say. Can we do something with that? Let's see what we can do. See if we can put that up on the screen. Just give you a quick flavor. See what this does. Does that do it? I'll tell you in a second. I'm just going to put the yields up so you can see the differences and how the markets have. Yes, we can. I think that's how it works. Yeah. So you don't see that, but if I go like that, you do see that, right? So you go like. So let me do this. Go with where is that train? Right there. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the yields. Let's go to the bonds. We'll see. Look at the bonds on an international level, in the sense of, let's see, markets, currencies, bonds. There we are. We'll put this up on the screen. So let's see if you can see that there like that. I think you can. Yeah, there we go. So there is the U.S. Government bond right there. So there's the 2-year. And oh no, it's the UK. I'm sorry, that's the UK government bond. There's the 2-year yielding 3.1. We've got the 5-year yielding 3.4, and the 10-year 3.4, and the 30-year 3.6. Okay, then there's the German bonds. 10 years yielding 2.14. You know, much lower, of course. 20-year 2.3, and 30-year they're doing a contango, so it's a 2.12. Then we jump over. Where's the U.S. bonds? Oh, okay. Then here is the U.S. bonds. There we are. And so our 2-year is yielding 4.54, which I think is kind of like where they're going to top out. Because they're hoping that inflation kind of comes down into the 4s and 5s and with the new Congress. And then the 5-year, you can see, is at 4.2. It's got a contango going on. And then the 10-year is 4.0, basically. And then the 30-year is 4. Well, one is 4.09, the other one is 4.03. So, you know, it's kind of a little battle. There's a little bit higher price there. There's a contango in the 10-year to the rest of them. You know, in other words, it's definitely different. It's upside down. So that is pretty much the recipe of it all. Yeah, I'm thinking, and I would say that, you know, you can see, like, well, you can see here, the U.S. 1-year is yielding 4.7, and the 6-month is yielding 4.6, and then the 3-month is basically 4.164. So I kind of think that's where they're going to top them out. And that would make sense. So the 1-year 4.7. I think, and maybe, you know, the 6-month is at 4.6, and then they drop down a little bit interest rate wise. So I'm thinking that what the bonds are trying to tell us overall is that they think that the inflation is probably going to start. You know, I understand that the Republicans are going to this new Congress is going to claw back a lot of those trillions, just claw them back. You know, they'll be able to grab them and say, no, you're not going to spend them. And that'll help out inflation right there. Then they're going to open the spigots, and they're going to fight with Biden that if he wants to get anything passed, you basically got to do that. You know, you got to just make sure there's no sound besides me. Yeah, good. It's just me, because I saw I'm putting that up there. I don't want, you know, some problem kick out on that. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is really where they die. In other words, the interest rates die, and within 6 months, just like the 6-month contract there at 4, let's highlight it right there, at 4.6, wouldn't surprise me that we see like a 4 or 4.6 or 5.5 inflation, because we're going to start pumping oil too. They're going to battle with Biden. They're just going to go in there and they're just going to say, open the pipelines. Let's start drilling. You know, we've had enough of this. And, you know, he may just roll over for a little bit. He's always a deal maker. And they have plenty to, you know, force him to do better things for America. So anyway, to me, that is the real recipe. That's what I think is going on. Let me just move that, make sure it's not. Yeah, see, it's there now. So I just want to move that over like that. There we go. There we are. So That's what I'm thinking when I go and look at the stock market. When I look at the currencies, I'm looking at the dollar index, and I'm saying to myself, they're still buying dollars. They're still holding on because they see that interest rate, and they believe that interest rate is going to stick around for at least another 6 months. And that's what we're watching. And I would imagine there'd be some logic for us to tune into the bonds now, the short-term bonds, every couple days, and take a peek at them and seeing what they're doing. Because as we start to see that drop, we're going to see the currencies pairs increase in value against the dollar, not the other way around. So I'm figuring we got about 5 or 6 more months of this. All right. From there, let's go over and check out the euro. Euro is still in a daily sell. Again, kind of emphasizing what we just basically said. And there is the euro against the dollar right there. You can see, it's been in a downdraft. I'd like to get rid of that. It's been in a downdraft now for. Let's see if we can do this. You see, it's been in a downdraft for 4 good days there. And then when we go over to Chicago Quant, right there, you can see it's trying to, like each day, it seems like it finds a way to lift it up there. And this one wasn't too much of a lift, but that one there, right there, was a good lift. And this is trying to do it again, but we're still in that daily sell going on the 3rd day. Now we're heading for the 4th day. And you can see here, the weekly is holding on. And we'll see how it's dropping underneath the manifold right there, but we'll see how they play with that at the same time. Let me think what else we got to go with here. At the same time, I was surprised yesterday. The Prime Minister of England, we'll throw a cable up there now, but the Prime Minister of England basically walked away from the Greens, which is usually a smart thing to do since none of it makes any sense what they're talking about to begin with from a scientific point of view. It's all some type of religious point of view that they've got going, and they pretend that it's a science point of view. It's really odd. I've never seen anything so strange like that. There we are right there, and there's the cable. Cable kind of backing off. It got up to the 116s. Now it's down in the high 114s. We went into a daily sell 2 days ago. This is the 3rd day now. Right there. And same situation. You see the green line is trying to break below the manifold at the moment, but still in the plus area when it comes to the weekly. And then on the cable here, you can see the same situation. 3 days of red. How do we get rid of this thing? Let's just leave it in the middle, maybe like that. You can see 3 days of red. That didn't do it either. All right, so you see the green line underneath and the pressure on, just like we have on the Chicago Quant over here. And that's kind of the recipe. And like I said, I was really surprised yesterday. He went after the Greens. Basically said, "No, I'm not even meeting with you." They wanted him to meet up and do something, and he was like, "No, thanks, not interested." And let's see, from there, we go over to the Swiss, and I'm imagining just because of what we're seeing here, Swiss is probably still sideways to up. I don't think we're going to understand that story for a little bit longer. And it's a dollar Swiss, not Swiss dollar. So, in other words, as it rises, it's losing against the dollar. Let's put it up over here on Chicano Quant. Chicago. Right there. There we are. You see it's just holding on by the hair of its little chinny chin. Still in the buy now for a 4th day. Right there. There we go. And that weekly is not even playing with the manifold. It's just down near it. That's it. It's not underneath it. You see the echo, the little blue dotted line, trying to make a little break there. That's the pressure we're seeing. And you can see it's kind of downwardly sloped like that to begin with. and that echo of our mathematics is giving us an idea that there's trying to step to the side at this point. They're not reaching for the product, and they're not selling the product too hard. And then you can see we've been in that weekly buy since you can see let's tighten this puppy up. Where's that mousy? Right there. So you can see we've been in a weekly buy since late August, and the product was in the 96 area, and it ran up, and then was in that long weekly run for that, and then it broke down, got into a sell, and then back into the saddle again. Two nice winner chicken dinners, and then went into a sell, so you weren't long, and then it tried to get in there, and it gave up some profit right there, just a little bit, but you gave up some profit. And then it went into there again and made all that profit back, like usual with our math. It's almost a norm. It's like 9 out of 10 times it's going to find a way to make your money back. And overall, with an 8.5 out of 10, it's always going to do it over time, as long as you don't price yourself out of the marketplace and do something where you lose money. Even that one gave you that one. There was a nice pop, so you should have made some money off of that. And this one here has given you an opportunity to make some money also at the same time. So the dollar Swiss has whatever magical secrets going on there of issues besides Swiss, the Swiss bank that's in trouble, the commercial one. We've watched the Federal Reserve do swaps with the Bank of Switzerland itself, the central bank, to probably help prop up the Swiss commercial bank. Another sip of that good tea this morning. It's a tea type of morning. All right, from there we go over to the yen. Let's go look at the yen this morning. And there's the yen. You see the yen is trying to get back into that sell. A couple of days of pushing up. You can see the green line there. And let's take a look at the yen right there. There it is. And we went into the daily buy. We got the volatility signal here. Went into the buy here. And it's just breaking down again. It really wasn't that good a trade. But after that adventure we've had, let's go like that right there. And we'll just take a justifiable look. So what we had was, let's tighten this puppy up a little bit. There we go. So we went into the buy here in the weekly buy in the 137.5 area. And we went into the daily buy right with it right there. And we just throw that in there, and then we'll throw that in there, and then we'll throw that in there, and then we'll throw that in there. And this way we have these things all lined up, and we can talk about them without having to concentrate too hard. And then right there. And then it does look like it might have made it minus. We can always move that. But well worth looking at. No, that didn't do it. Okay, so we remove that altogether. There we are. So we went into the weekly buy here in the where was it again? 137 and change. We call it 137.5 is safe enough. And we went into a daily buy at the same time. And you can see it was super uber duper winner chicken dinner. Almost a 10-point move. It's 9.5 point move, something like that. And then we went into a daily sell here. And obviously, we're watching it because we're in a weekly buy. So, and then it goes into a daily buy right here. And then you can see it goes up the next day, but it doesn't do anything beautiful. And it could even be a loss because of that action, since that was the close there. So that gives up a little teeny profit of that nice big run. Then we go into a sell, so we're standing and watching. And then we get back into the buy. Where was it? Was it there? I think that's it right there. We get back into the buy again, and we're in a weekly buy, so you can be long, and you get a couple days of strength there. You'll go up a couple handles. Does it get over? It gets over 47. Does it get up to 40? No, 45.90 from 43.70. So it makes you a couple of handles on the upside, not bad. Then we get a sell again, and then it languishes. I guess I like to use that word, languish. In other words, it doesn't do anything. It kind of just stalls and does not much. We go into another buy. Right, is it there or there? Let's see what that says. That's a minus. Okay, so this one's the buy, and it really doesn't do anything. Again, it does that languishing thing, doing sideways noise, that type of thing. And then there's the minus there, so it goes into a sell. Next day goes into a buy again right there. We get a nice little pop again, a little profitable run, not bad. So it makes a few dollars there. All good money management allows you not to take hit on the chin, obviously. Where's that line at? There it is right there. And then we slide into the sell right there, and then the following day it gives us a buy again. And then that one is the uber duper super another fantastic run. Look at that. Like a 7-handle move, something like that. 6.5 handle move, 7-handle move. And it goes into the sell there. So overall, it's been a very interesting, a very profitable weekly buy trend. And then we get into a sell here, and now we're doing it again. We're trying, but it seems to be more like this stuff here. But that's the way it goes sometimes. It can't be right all the time, but overall we can be right generally. Very rarely we have an issue. Let's put it that way. Usually our math will keep you honest. If you look at a year over year, decade over decade, century over century, we've done that, all those back testing months. In scientific world, we've gone back as far as 37 million years. So using techniques on expanding galaxies and their thermodynamics, we've done all kinds of things with our math. It works out really well. Keeps Hamiltonian Euler proud of me. That's how it works. All right, and you can see here we're playing with the sell now on the yen. Interesting. I think I heard the stock market took it on the chin over there too. While we're here, let's just take a look. I think they did. So there is the Nikkei. There's the Nikkei. Where are you, Nikkei? Right there. There it is. Yeah, see, that's up. See, I guess that's today in a sense. So it was down in Tokyo, but not by much because it gapped up. And now it's going for tomorrow, the way it's setting up because of the close and open and the 12-hour difference and so forth, it's trying to lift again. But you can see it's playing with that. All right. So from there, we'll throw crude in there, and then we'll jump over to Turkish lira. Right there. There's the dollar Turkish lira. And you can see it's still in that sell. It's a battle. Just see if we can widen this out a little bit more for it all. And we'll just bring that down. That's all. Because those crazy wild days are not worth really looking at. They're trapping somebody. So we're still in that sell thing going on to here. And we'll see. And we're still in that weekly buy for 39 weeks right there. And it's getting kind of low. Let's see how we make it to 40. So now, let's take a look at the better of the two pairs trades. Was I'm not, of late, neither of them are too pretty. And that is the Euro Turkish lira right there. And let's put that up on the screen also. Euro Turkish lira right there. And you can see it's trying to lift up. Went into a weekly buy last week. Not doing anything beautiful about it, that's for sure. It's just kind of dragging. We're just kind of sideways down from it at the moment. We get into another daily buy. We're figuring something stupid will happen. It'll go back to 19 or some crazy thing. Or, it'll be some type of jacking of it on the upside. All right. Now, from there, we go over to the two currency pairs that we we compare to commodities. We look at the Canadian against the dollar, or a dollar Canadian pairs trade, and we look at that against oil. So let's go take a look at that. Looky. And so you can see right here, oil is today just down a little bit. Was that 20 cents, 30 cents? What is that? 7 cents. It's only down 7 cents. But still showing some strength in there. So as this is usually rising in value, in other words, it is going up, oil, normally Canadian finds a way to go down. So let's take a look at the Canadian on J4X, and then we'll just flip them back and forth. And there is the Canadian. That's still showing some strength over the last couple days. Let's put it up on Chicago Quant. And you can see it's been up and sideways. We've had 2 green dots, and now we're down a little bit, which makes sense because oil is up. But overall, we're in a daily buy for, this is the 3rd day now, right there. And we got a volatility signal ahead of it 4 days ago. And you can see we are sliding into the sell this week. And that's obviously that's kind of, I guess that's apropos. In other words, it makes sense in the fact that if the Canadian starts to gain strength against the dollar, which means it's going down. So in other words, because this is dollar CAD, not CAD dollar. In the States here, we trade it the other way around. We trade it as CAD dollar, but I like to be international and follow everybody else's outside, like as if we're not in America. And so you can see 3. Let's put a green line in there too. And so it's been in a daily buy for the 3 days. It's trying to break into the sell, which makes sense to me because we see oil doing its thing, going that way, that-o-way. And let's see, I just got a message. Let me just see who the message is from. And then so then from there we have the, let's see, let's do this. Did I put oil in the J4X? Let's put oil up there just to show you again. Right there. Yeah, see, it's got that strength thing going on, and that's why the overall, you can see the Canadian has been trying to head down, and we went into that weekly buy here. Can we see that? Let's see that. Let's go back and beat our chest again. There's the weekly buy right there, and let's put a daily line in there. It went into the daily buy right there. And that was obviously the first nice winner chicken dinner of this weekly buy. And then finally went into a sell up in here. Not there, right there. And then we jumped back into a buy again. Now we're in a weekly buy overall. So obviously you take the weekly buys with the daily buys, that type of thing. And again, another winner chicken dinner. Then we get into a sell right there. And so you don't really, let me see what that is. Is that -2? That's the minus right there. Okay, so goes into a sell right there on that one right there. And then we get into another daily buy right there. And that takes a couple of our victory ticks away. But overall, nice and, long in the sense of it made money. So it takes a little of our profit from this nice move and this nice move. Like I said, you can't win all the time, but what you can do is win overall. Then it goes into a sell again off of this one right there, and goes into another buy, and it's another winner chicken dinner. Not a big one, just a nice move there over a 4 or 5 day period. And then it tries to do it there, and it's a failure, taking away a little of our profit from here. And then same situation again. We go into a buy there, and it takes it away. Another loss. It's a teeny weeny one, nothing major. And now we went into a buy here, and it's not looking pretty, and it's actually minus now as we speak. Look at that. Now it's minus 21. When we were looking at it earlier, the thing was actually plus for the day. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw a red line in here, and I could always remove it if it doesn't hold up by the close today. But that's overall. It's been the initial ones were always nice. They were really nice. That's why we always say, try to start off at the beginning of a weekly move. Don't try to jump in the middle of those things. You want to play the whole math. Be it like in this case here, and we go into a weekly buy here, and it's okay, but and then there's that second buy. It's all right, but it's not a big winner. But if you hold on and do your thing, at least you're probably going to break even to make some money, and then live to fight this one, or play the short one. This one went into a short here, and you can see it goes down in value, and you make money, and then you're not short during that. And I guess it goes into a buy here after 3 weeks, and you get a nice little pop, little profit, nothing major, and then you get back into the sell again there. So you can see how the math. Then it goes another 2 weeks, and then jumps back into the buy. This time, even when it went 2 full weeks, and then finally tried to top out, it didn't succeed. So it was a nice move for the next move up. And it's just kind of, sometimes I just don't. Robin says, you don't really remind people about the success rate or how well it does. Hey, Janos. Is it all quiet around there? We see those drones hit the Black Sea Fleet. That was something, huh? Interesting. Drone against drone. It's like Skynet, Bring in the cybernetic creatures. Let them battle it out. Keep the people out of it. Let's see. From there, we jump over from Canada. We go to South Africa and look at the South African rand and compare that to gold. And there it is right there, ZAR. And you can see we are doing the same thing as Canadian. It's trying to flirt, which probably means that gold is going up in value. So let's put gold up on J4X. Right there. You see there's some strength there this morning. See that right there? It's pushing up. And it is plus for the day right there. Up about a 0.5 percentage point. And so then we go over to Chicago Quants. Look at it right there. And you see same thing going on. We are flirting with the daily buy today. And we've been in that weekly buy for, this is the third week. It just keeps on trying. It just refuses. It went into the buy here. It was a nice little win. Goes into the sell there. And then we get it back off, and now we're doing it again. And we have the platinum in a weekly buy. We have silver on the edge of a weekly buy. So obviously, they're reaching for the metals because, like when we looked at interest rates earlier in the webinar, I think we're at the kind of like the top end of the interest rates at this point. So we'll see the dollar pairs trades be firm still for a little bit longer, 3 to 6 more months, and then probably from there we'll start to see, we'll be watching that short-term bonds, like the 1 year and the 6 month and things like that, where they're trading in the 4.6s and the 4.7s, and that's and right now the official rate is 2.75, the official interest rate. So of the U.S. Treasury, or not the U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve. So more than likely, we're going to be at 3.5 today. Then another half would put us at 4, and if they do 3/4, that would put us at 4.25, and the bonds are already there. So it's not a lot of surprise going on when it comes to that, because the marketplace. I mean, I heard, I don't watch the junk bond market, but overall, it's yielding in the 8s. So it's trading at inflation, the junk bond market, the corporate market itself. All right, from there, you see here the gold is doing its thing. We'll come back to the gold, and we'll finish off south of the border. We'll go take a look at the Mexican peso. Oh, did we look at South Africa? Let's go to South African rand real quick, too. And as you can see, the rand is trying to roll over in here. And you can see the weekly, and we could do that same thing again. There's the weekly. It went into the weekly buy in the 16 and 3/4 area, 16 and a half basically. And then we went into a daily buy there, and that was a nice winner chicken dinner. Let's put a line in there for it. Right there. And then it did it all the way up to right there. So it was a nice win right there. And then we get into that sell right there. Is that right? No, one over. Right there. And we jump right back into a buy again 2 days later. So there's our second win. Is that our second win? Right there. With a volatility signal there. I think that's got to be moved over one like that. There we are. So it goes into the buy there. And again, another winner chicken dinner up to there. Tries to throw it into the sell and goes back into a buy there, and another winner. They're not big wins at that point. Sometimes you get big wins, sometimes you get small wins. It's just and then once in a while it says, "Uh-oh, you lose." But then it always comes back and wins again. So, and there's that other win right there. Right there. Oh, I see what it is. So this one goes over to here. Then this one goes over to there. Yeah. And that's a loser. Right, like that. And then, because it goes into a sell right there. Let's put that in. Let's double check that. No, that's all that's all zeros and 0-1. So the sell is not until there. That's probably one of the worst losses we've seen in a while in our math and all the pairs trades. And then from there, it goes back into a buy like right there, and makes everything back you'd ever wanted and then more. The math is something. It's always magical. And then we go and we move that into the right there. And you get a nice little win out of there over a 3-day period. And then from there, let's see, you got the sell. I guess, did that do that? That sell is there, but that's under. Let's make this go all the way up, because I can't even see it. Extend it like that. Okay, so there it is. So it goes into the sell there, and it does go into the buy right there. There we go. And then from there, back into the sell again. Does it? Right there? Yes, right there. And then from there, there's a buy, and that's not the most beautiful buy either. So it's really trying to chew up our profits out of this. Luckily, we've had some great wins out of it, so it's not too bad. But, it's not been the prettiest up in this area here. It gets into that stall thing, And we have the warnings here. You see the green line breaking underneath the manifold, so you have to start to hesitate and think, okay, this thing's starting to top out. That's what those nuances are. That's what a lot, when you go and look at the lines, they give you warnings. Like in this case here, let's see if we can scroll this back. Like this is a good example, where the green line slips underneath but doesn't break the manifold like it did back further, and starts to break through here. And you know that you're going to get strength, and sure enough, you get the strength with the weekly, and that's nice big winner. So that's what these things are all about, these extra lines. And it's the same thing here too, on the short term. When you have these things breaking underneath, it gives you that warning that something is not smooth. And if you're trading the hard delta, you want to have nice tight stops. You want to be, as Robin says, good money management. All right. So from the South African Rand, we jump over to the south of our border to the Mexican peso. Let's see how that's doing. I heard a story yesterday that made a lot of sense. That, in other words, this is dollar peso. So what's happening is as it breaks the range and it's going down, it means it's gaining against the dollar. It's becoming more valuable. And there's serious talk with the election. That's why it's playing the bottom end of the range now. And that is that the government wants the new, the Mexican government wants the American government to change the way it's probably going to do this election. And so that could bring this thing, after these last couple of years in this range, could drive it underneath. We could see ourselves in the 17 or 18 area. Dow Jones Industrial Average, when we started, was down about 35, 45. It's down about 85. Nothing major since we got, that's just background noise. But that is the Mexican peso. That's the action to it. Let's take a look at it on J4X. Right there. There we are. You see that downwardly pressure. And it's down at the very end of the... Look at that, 7 something. It's just, it's really pressed down. It's going to be very interesting. We have the election literally 7 days from today starting. Right? No, I'm sorry. No, it'll be over with because it's it's 6 days away. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's 6 days, and 7 days away. So it's 7 days away. So it'll be interesting. Get this election over with, and we'll see how money will be managed and how the Federal Reserve will do what it does its thing. Alrighty, traders. From there, we're going to jump over to, let's close that. Let me just, hopefully those lines will stay in there. I should have saved every one of them. I did not. I'm sad that I didn't, but that's life. Save. And say yes. Yes. Alrighty. Let me just put the euro back in there too. Oh, there's the Aussie, actually. Aussie's trying to lift up again. And we're still in that weekly buy for the second week. All right. Let's close that. And we head over to... See, what metal did we leave off at last? Yes. And that last metal we looked at was gold. So we'll do gold and silver and so forth. You can see gold is towards the high end of its range. You see we are trying to get into that daily buy, and we are in the weekly buy. And let's jump over to it on the J4X right there. I'm sure it's turning green for us. Yep, see, turning green. And the green line is breaking through. So we're seeing some good stuff with our Manhattan indicator there. And then from there, we go over to silver. Look at silver. Silver is really jacking it. Jacking it. They're jacking it on the silver. They're running. Jack that thing up. And let's put it in right there. And it closed in a daily buy yesterday right there. And it's higher today than where it closed yesterday. Still hasn't taken out the top from yesterday. And the weekly is getting closer and closer. It's trying. It's battling its way there. So that'll be cool. Platinum will be in a weekly buy for 3 weeks. This thing will be in 1 week, a classic as usual. And the gold, same way. So that's the silver action. It's it looks like it's trying to get life into it. And again, money likes to anticipate. Markets love to anticipate. Matter of fact, in many ways, since what we've talked about in the bond market and we talked about in the currency market today, that should be the title to this webinar. And that is, markets like to anticipate. I know it's kind of nebulous in some ways, but it is true. They love to anticipate. So, the best way to understand and trade a market is to realize it's trying to anticipate future events. And you're looking at it, and a lot of times people go, oh, no, I'm selling this thing because it's blah, 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 and next thing you know, it's going up. And then finally, like 3/4 up, you start to, people in general start to join in, or halfway up, it starts to join in. And then it gets to a top and tops out, and they're still wanting to buy. And that's because the market now has gotten done anticipating one thing and started anticipating something else. So that should be the title today, and that is that markets like to anticipate the future. That's pretty much what it comes down to. All right. What else can we do? Let's just go like that. All right, from there, let's take a look at copper. And there's copper doing the same thing, showing strength. It's trying to lift here. We are in a 1 week and a weekly buy on a second week now. It's close, but it's still battling, and it's still trying. And again, that could be the Chinese factor we keep on hearing about, where they are talking about actually throwing away the crazy playbook of lockdown and COVID. You know, the zero, they call it zero COVID. That's what it is. Zero COVID. Remember, they've done about as much as they can to tie their population up. And Chinese stocks actually lifted yesterday for that reason, because they talked about putting together a committee to decide what to do with zero COVID. And that would be a very positive thing for the world economy. Matter of fact, as we were talking here on the webinar today, I heard somebody say the same thing I'm saying yesterday, and that is, I guess they're watching our webinar. But anyway, they were saying the same thing, and that was that the Chinese market is starting to anticipate possibly a move up, which the world economy would be very happy with, which would kind of play into the concept that markets like to do that. What they'll do is they'll start to sell into the move up in Chinese stocks with American stocks, thinking that, you know, the election has been won, and so that they can not have to really worry about it, and then the markets will go sideways down or sideways for a while. I'd imagine they'll do some type of digestion out of it all. Markets predict future events. How about that? That sounds good. There we are. Okay, so from there, we go to, what's today? Happy to Hump Day. So let's go look at platinum, see if it's at the highs of the week or weeks, see how much strength is really plowing into that. Close. It's trying to go after last week's highs, and we're in that weekly buy 1 week, and now it's going for a second week with not much of a problem. And you can see did we go into a daily sell yesterday? We went into a daily sell yesterday. It's trying to climb right out of that again, and with a volatility signal. That could be a good thing. Those volatility signals can be real fun. Like, there's one right there. And then we had a zoom to the moon for like 5-6 days. It went from, why is that? I thought I fixed that yesterday. What is it? Format window. There we are. Is it appearance? Price scale? Price scale? There it is. There we go. So you can see here it gave us that volatility signal back in the middle of last month, and it ran from 900 to almost 1,000. And it got to 974, so it was a $75 move over 6 days. So if we get one of those and we get a $75 move, we're going to be like at 1,050, something like that. So platinum is trying to tell us that there are some buyers out there. That's what we're seeing with the platinum signal. Robin says US dollar New Zealand. Okay, let's go find US dollar New Zealand. There we go. And there is NZD dollar. And it went into a sell there. It jumped back into the buy yesterday, and it is obviously in a buy today still. So we'll throw that line into there. We'll put that line into the sell. But we're in a weekly buy, so you wouldn't take the short. You would just stand to the side. And then there you go again. Back in the saddle again. Let's widen that out for you. That was interesting, because it went 2, 4, 6. Let's do this. Let's tighten it up for a second here for everybody. As you can see, we went into a sell up in here, in this week right there, and it rode down for a while. you know, for was it 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 weeks, and then jumped into the buy last week, and now you can see we're starting to ride up. You know, it might come down here a little bit, and then nothing as this does. It, you know, it's going down, and then it lifts up a little bit, and goes down more, and lifts up, and you know, it just keeps on finding new lows. And that's usually the way this works. Just like when it did it. So we move it over here. The weekly buy. Let's use that line just for the time being. Went into the weekly buy here of this week, and went from the 60 to the 65 area or 64.5 area, something like that. And that's how that does it. You know, but it doesn't do it straight. It does it in zigzag patterns. And that's why we combine the daily with the weekly. U.S. dollar Aussie. Yeah, I can do that. Let's go find the U.S. dollar Aussie. Let's close it. You know what? Let's just do this. I'm just going to make a copy. It's the other way around, of course, but we'll do that. Let's put it in here. Copy and paste. There we go. And we'll just do it. Create a new one right there in us. Here it comes. There we go. It's starting to load
Connecting.
up. Okay. Now let's remove that.
Disconnected.
All right. Fix the instrument. And that is Aussie dollar. AUD dollar. I saw it. We looked at it. I blocked it on the other one. So it's just flirting with a daily buy today again, and it's in the weekly buy. I think for a second week. Just like, there we go. It's playing with the weekly buy there. And it's, let's see how it's going. Let's move these lines around. It's flirting with the daily buy. Let's see. So that sell is okay there. Move that over there. I guess the buy would be right there. But we're in weekly sells there, so it's pretty hard to do anything with that. And then, let's see. So I guess here's a good one. There's a nice sell right there. We're in a weekly sell. You can take that short. But you don't want to take a long. Let's see. I think we can put this long in here, right? Yeah, that goes into the long. It goes back into a short right there. And then it gets back into a buy, so it gives up some of the profits from that move right there. And then I guess the daily buy is right there. And then let's move that one out of the way. There's a sell there and a buy, but you're in a weekly sell, so it loses money there. So, oh, there it is. There's a line over there already. So, and then let's move these out of the way. I think we can get rid of some of these. Remove and remove. So it goes into the cell there, and it's a zuber duper zuber super duper win 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 win. So you can give away little chunks over here with no problem with these two nice big wins. And then let's see, this guy goes right there maybe. So you can't be long or you can't be short. So you know this thing pops, so you're fine there. And then oh, here we go. So what is that? That is the long, that's the short. There's your nice win out of that one too. Not that one. Move it over like that. There we are. I guess we can go like this. So because we go in and out. You don't take the long, of course, because we're in a weekly sell. Did I do that right? No, that goes right there. Like that. There we go. And then this is right there. Okay. So there's the answer to the whole magical thing there. We get 3 good wins that pay for any little zigzags you had over in here. So that is the Aussie. And we can do this too. We can throw a little circly thing here because it's in the plus side. Like that. There we are. How's that? There you go, Robin. No problem. Let me do a save on that. There we go. Save workspace. Save. Yes. So that's the Aussie dollar close. Yes. All right, let's take a quick look at the energies and we be out of here. Let's take a look and see a North Sea Brent up on J4X right there. There it is right there. You see it's trying to lift up, trading in the 94s. I could have swore it was at 95 yesterday. But, and let's just see where, excuse me, let's see where U.S. Light sweet crude is. Right there. It's still in the 88s, so that's cool. But I think we got up to 89 yesterday, so that's why we're a little bit lower in Brent also. And then over there we go over and check out the Nat Gas right there. That's American Natural Gas, trading at 6.1. Let's put it up on the screen over here. We'll do the other two there too. So there's crude oil. You see, yeah, crude oil is basically down. What is that down? 16 cents. It's not moving much. And then there's natural gas. You see, natural gas is trying to lift back up again. We are in a daily buy, but we're in a weekly sell, so you really can't take the trade. The last trade was right there, and the one before that was right here. Yeah, that whole ride down from the 7 and change down to the 5.5, 540 area. So that was pretty good. All right, it's only been a couple trades in that. That's interesting. And this one kept you relatively safe. Put you. Oh, there it is, the first one. There's the first winner chicken dinner right there. From there all the way down to here. Yeah, so that was like from 8 and change down to 675. That was a good winner to check too. All right, last but not least, we're going to go take a look at the international oil company out of Spain, which gives us a little heads up on what's going on with natural gas in Europe in a chart form. And there it is right there. We're still flirting underneath the 26. The lows have been, the high was 30 and change, 31, and we've seen it now trade all the way down to 22.5, and now we're kind of stuck at the low end of the I guess you'd say the high end of the low range. In other words, we're now bouncing up into the 25, 26 area from 22.5. So not exactly exploding up. And I heard yesterday, I think I mentioned it yesterday too, I heard that natural gas ships are starting to get filled down in the Gulf for Europe. So it's happening. You know, it's the beginning of lowering these oil prices for everybody in Europe going into the winter. All right, traders, we're out of here. This is Doc from North America saying, be safe, be smart. Happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be Thursday tomorrow, day before Friday. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, be safe, be smart. Arrivederci.